I am example, or as my mum calls me, Elliot. I'm a singing, songwriting, rapping, shouting, rock star, husband, dad. I grew up in Hammersmith and Fulham mainly, went to school in Wandsworth. So I've actually reconnected with so many people, and I think there's something quite cozy and heartwarming and safe about old friends from 20 years ago. But yeah, it's really good to be back. I've got new music out, I've got a new record deal, I've got a new tour to announce, and I've just been playing to massive festival crowds. So I wouldn't say it was a comeback, it's more like a renaissance. You can have that quote. I suppose I'm at a place in my life where I feel like I've got more energy than ever. I feel fitter and stronger, I feel better mentally. I'm probably the happiest I've ever been. My kids are the happiest I've ever been, my wife's the happiest I've ever been. She's got a real sense of pride back because she's got a load of work over the last year, even during the pandemic. I feel like I'm in a really good place in terms of just focusing on the positives. And all the things that I used to be really anti, I'm now like, meditation, I'll try that. Massages, yeah, I'll try that. Yoga, I'll try that. And it just goes to show, I'm 40 next year. And it just goes to show that like the 21, 22-year-old me, don't really ever associate that person now. So I was really competitive when it came to rapping. So yeah, Snoop Doggy Dogg, Doggy Style, and but I also loved grunge music. So like Nirvana, Nevermind was just like massive for me. I feel like the music I make is a combination of all of those, because a lot of my storytelling and concepts are quite grunge, but then obviously the electronic side of the music, the uplifting it, that's probably from my influence from garage and jungle music and early rave music when I used to go out, with a fake ID when I was like 16, head to toe in like Moschino or Versace or Valentino, Armani. It's just mad to think that like, all these years later, how much that all still resonates with my music. When Kickstarts came out, I was just like, it's going for a breakup. You're in love with someone, you're with someone like 4 or 5 years, and it's like you go from holding hands to you feel the grips of loosening. And that's where I came up with the idea for, might be holding your hand, but I'm holding it loose, which is like, I think probably one of the best lyrics I've ever written. And that kind of led to the punchline of the love kickstarts again. Imagine life without you, love kickstarts again, staying in a relationship because you need someone just for the sake of it. And then that song just changed everything. But Kickstarts was a hit in like 20 countries. All of a sudden my fees went up tenfold. So I could pay off my 30 grand debt and I could move out from living with my granddad in his council house. And then I was just like, wow, the tour's selling out. We're going on TV shows, we're going on radio shows. We've got a gig in Europe. People in Europe know about me, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're gonna go to Czech Republic. What? You're gonna go to Austria. What? Yeah, they like that. Then the love kickstarts again, yes. And then, yeah, the rest is history, man. The new album's, it started off as a garage thing, and there's some good tracks in there, but then more recently I've written another song which is kind of like a French house, like Daft Punk sort of vibe, and another song that's like a drum and bass vibe. And I was actually around Ed Sheeran's house the other day playing him. He was just like, mate, don't be so precious about this garage thing, just put your best songs on the album. So it's good to just bounce ideas off of people who know what they're doing, especially when they're the biggest artist in the world. I left Sony like 4 years ago, been independent since, swore that I'd never sign another deal, and then met BMG and they were just like, just music to my ears. They were like, here's your deal, very much in my favor. You can pick whatever songs you want, the singles, you're in complete creative control, you can approve all budgets. So it doesn't make any sense. Like they're a global corporation with like 1,000 employees and they want to treat the artist nicely. The music industry doesn't do that. It's like, nah. I do. I was like, I believe it when I see it, and the contract came over and I was like, complete creative control, approval of all budget. You know what I mean? It's pretty exciting. Back in the day when people were mass producing vinyl records and you had to, the cost of making them and then shipping them and stocking them and selling them and moving them, it's such a huge expense. You can understand maybe why the labels would have 80, 90% and then the artists would only get 10. And then like, you've got the arrival of iTunes when there's actually no real manufacturing involved at all. And yet you would have thought then maybe it would shift to like 50-50, but it didn't. It still stayed, the artists getting a very small percentage. It's just mental to think, but BMG are leading the way in terms of changing the perception. And it's great because it's just the whole industry in general seems to be having an overhaul. Like, this classic image of this fat old white guy sat in charge at his desk from the president's office, calling all the shots, doing what he wants, being sexist, being a bit of a bigot or whatever. It's all changing. There's lots more females given powerful positions and jobs. Because I always think like women have to work twice as hard as men to get where they got to go. And then, you know, black people, ethnic minorities have to work probably 10 times harder than them to get where they got to go. So I feel like the world's changing, but in particular the music industry. And I saw last night some people I hadn't seen for ages, and all their jobs, like they've all been elevated. And that's because they were the best at their job. Yeah, it's really refreshing to see. I've done 7 albums, the 8th album's out next year. I've done dubstep, techno, rock, rave, metal, grunge, house, pop, rap, grime. And I think I've done them all pretty well, so let's see what happens. I never wanted to be famous, I wanted to be successful. But it's brilliant. People say hello to you, strangers say hello to you. People tell them you've made their day. People who want to tell you what their favourite song is and what it means to them. It's great being famous. The tour is January, February 2022. I think it's 14 shows. More special effects, more production, new visuals, new songs. Obviously play all the classics. It's really about just doing as much as you can yourself, and I think just learning from it. I don't think there's any rules anymore. The key thing is that when you start doing whatever you're doing as a musician, producer, DJ, artist, along the way, if things aren't working, you have to be prepared to adapt. The truly gifted, talented people always win, eventually get there. I don't think you've got to have everything. I'm just like, I make absolute bangers. No one's touching me for bangers. And I'm like, you come to my gigs, the best gig you're ever going to see. I'll leave it at that. Whether people think I'm the best rapper or the singer, I don't really care. I wouldn't actually give my younger self any advice because I have no regrets. Just learn from everything.